Okay, chapter 5 is all about inequalities. So what is an inequality? An inequality is a symbol like this. It's a greater than, a less than, greater than or equal, or a less than or equal. Okay? To graph inequalities, the thing you need to remember is the open circle is when you have a less than or a greater than. Okay? The open circle actually means that the point that you're on is not included. So if I have x is greater than 2, I'm going to go to 2 on my number line, and I'm going to put an open dot there. Now x has to be greater than that. If I go this way, that's greater on your number line. Okay? And so that's how you would graph this one. The next one, I have b greater than or equal to 1. So let's go to 1. This can include the number 1, so we're going to put a closed dot there. Again, b is greater though, so we're going in this direction. Okay. Now let's look at the next couple. Z is less than 3, so let's go to the number 3. It's less than, which means it doesn't include 3, so we're going to put an open dot on 3, and the less than symbols go in this way. Okay. And A is less than or equal to 6. So we can put a 6 on here if it's not there. Okay, and we're going to put a closed dot, and we're going this way. Okay? And that's how you graph with inequalities. So now let's look at some simple inequalities with addition and subtraction. You're going to solve with the same steps you take to solve an equation. So in this case, I'm going to add 8, and I'm going to add 8 to both sides. Okay. This will cancel. I'm left with x is less than or equal to 2. So now on my number line, there's no numbers on this line, so let's put a couple numbers on here. There's 0. There's 2. Okay, 2 is what we want. It's going to include 2 because of the equal sign, so we're going to put a closed dot here, and it's less than, so we're going in the negative direction. Up here, this one, we have a m. We want to get m by itself, so we're going to do plus 8. We're going to do a plus 8. This will cancel. And now I have 2 is greater than or equal to m. And this is hard to graph, at least for me. I like to be able to say m is less than 2. This says 2 is greater than m. So what we can do now is change this around so we have m is less than 2. I can't get a 2 on there. All right, so let me just do this. My board's not tracking perfect, so let's just slide this back over, and we'll do plus 8, plus 8, and we're going to get 2 is greater than m, which is the same as m is less than 2. Okay, so if I put my 0 here and I put my 2 here, this is much easier to graph because the m is on the left-hand side. I can say to myself, m is less than 2. So we'll go to 2. There's our m. It's got to be less than, so I'm going in this direction. Okay. Another one, subtract 3. Subtract 3. You get x is greater than a negative 8. So in this case, we need to have a negative 8 on our number line. So if I graph this, there's, let me try to do this. Let's slide this up. Oh, my board, there we go. Okay, probably we're going to need to slide this one up too. All right, so now let's see if we can get this to work. This is a negative 8 right here. Negative 8. So x is greater than that. It's an open dot, and we're going this way. And 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This right here would actually be 0 on your number line. Okay, and that's how you would do one like that. So let's try one more like this. Again, I think I'm going to slide this up a little bit so I can put numbers underneath it. Okay, to solve for a, I'm going to get this one. I'm going to subtract 8 from both sides, subtract 8, and subtract 8. So I end up with a negative 6 is greater than A. Again, those canceled. So I need to turn this one around. I have A is less than negative 6. And I can't quite fit my negative 6 on there. So if I come down here, A is less than negative 6. So let's put a negative 6 here. And we can put a 0 there. We're going up by 3's this time. So A is less than negative 6. I'm going to get a line going like that. Okay. On the next page, write the verbal sentence as an inequality. Solve your inequality in graph. The sum means to add, of a number and 8. So n plus 8 is always means equal. But in this case, it's is less than. So egg 8 is less than 12. To solve it, subtract 8, and you get n is less than 4. So here is, if we put a 0 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, there's a 4, and n is less than 4, so we have the open dot at 4 because 4 is not a possible answer to this problem. We go that. 40 is no greater. I like to kind of change this to a not. 40 is not greater than. So 40 is not greater than, which means it has to be less than or equal. So 40 is less than or equal to the difference of a number and 2. Difference again means subtraction. That would be here. Let's go down and do this one. A number decreased by 4, there's your number, decreased by 4 is less than 14. This is the sum of a number and 6, so n plus 6 is greater than or equal to negative 4. That's how you would write them all like this. Now that we have them written, we can go back and solve them. Plus 2, we get n, and we get 42. Okay, again, n is on this side, so if I turn it around, I get n is greater than or equal to 42. So in this case, I'm just going to pick some places to put my number. There's 0. I know 42 is on this side, so I can put a 42 there. N is greater than or equal, so we're going this way. Maybe if I do this, if I shrink this back down here, let's try this. If I shrink this back, does that help? Okay, so now if I go to here, can I, oops, I'm going to go back to this. Can I get that going out? I can. Okay. So now if I add 4 and I add 4, I get n is less than 28. The n's on the right side, so I can put a 28 out here. I can put a 0 here. You should always put 2 numbers on your number line. It's less than, which means you can include 28, and we're going this way. The sum of a number and 6 is greater than or equal to negative 4. We wrote the equation. Subtract 6. I'm on the bottom of my page now. So let's do this again. Let's do this. If I pull this back up a little bit. Now can I track to the bottom of the page? Minus 6. Minus 6. I have n is greater than or equal to negative 10. So we can put a negative 10 here, negative 10 here, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. We can put a 0 there. N is greater than or equal, so you're going to be going this way. Okay, and then the last page. These are for you to try, so why don't you pause the video, go ahead and try them.